welcome to episode 62 of Life in General. My name is Nick.
And apparently we're going to talk like this the whole show. I am Ian.
I didn't sound robotic, did I?
No, it was a bit off.
Was it?
Yeah. For a split.
And I am Mandy.
Yes,
Yeah.
And Mandy is joining us again. She's the third member of the show.
She's the unofficial third member of the show.
Yeah. She's the heart of the show.
Well, since like December, you've been on most of the episodes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
You're like
Oh.
a third season intro.
So yeah, you're like the stepsister that no one knew that shows up and knocks on the door.
I'm just here for the party.
Yeah.
Well, that's disappointing.
So
for you.
so you're like Rachel's sister in Friends, who just like
She has two sisters.
I know, but you never saw them until like later seasons.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't know what that is.
Friends.
Christina Applegate played one of them.
Yeah.
Nope.
She was the one who kept calling Emma, was she Ella or something?
Yeah.
And she's like, but Ella's better. She's like a bitch.
Didn't Reese Witherspoon play the other sister?
No. Are you for real?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so.
I want to say yes.
Yeah.
She was on the show.
Could
I don't
you
remember.
show my face? Like,
Well, yeah, people at home can't see your
oh
face.
my
maybe.
God, no, I never knew that.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she played.
I want to say so.
I mean,
No, she
wait,
didn't.
yeah.
No, she didn't.
She
no
was
way.
on
did.
Friends.
Google it, Ian.
I'm gonna.
There's
Google
no
it.
way.
I mean, why would I be right? I mean, I've only
Watch the show.
I've only seen several. Well, the last 2 years,
my
I've
age.
made it a point to watch the entire
Friends
season
are people.
front to
They're
back.
old people.
They're not that much older than us.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Jennifer
No.
Aniston just turned 50. I'm 41. That's
Hello,
9
I'm
years.
38.
I know.
That's,
Soon to be 39.
Not that.
I'm just
soon. Yeah, not that
saying,
soon.
like people that are not,
You've got less than 8 months.
people that are young are not going to be on like 52-year-old people.
I could have swore that Reese Witherspoon played her sister.
You're wrong. You have to be wrong.
Why would I be wrong?
I think she played Jill.
Who was? Yeah,
I don't
Jill
even know
was
what
her
this-
sister.
Jill was her sister. Yes.
She was like 12.
Yep, Reese Witherspoon was Jill Green.
Yes.
How old was she?
I don't know how old is she now.
She's I don't know mid
My
40s.
age. No,
she's not your age. But
Yes, she is.
huh? Reese Witherspoon? She's older.
No, she's not. Is she?
We're gonna find out in about 2 seconds here.
I mean, this is
Ian.
like thrilling radio for everyone.
Oh my
she's
gosh.
oh, you're right. She's 42.
Oh,
She'll be she'll be 43. The
This
20
year?
the 22nd of this month.
Yeah.
March 22nd. She'll be 42. So she's my brother's age.
She's beautiful for 43.
Well, Jennifer Aniston's beautiful for 50.
50. Yeah.
Touche.
But she's probably had some. She's definitely had some face.
I don't
She
think
has
so.
not.
I don't think
she
so.
has
She's
not.
definitely had a nose job.
Well, she had the
not.
nose job before she started
No.
Friends.
I know that, but
I don't think she did.
No, she did.
No,
there's
she-
there's pictures of her. Her nose is fucked up.
oh yeah,
She had a nose job before Friends.
yeah.
I
That
don't
was
think
early
so.
years.
I think
But-
she just grew up.
How do your nose doesn't change like that?
Yes, it does.
Not like that.
No, she definitely had a nose job. Absolutely, 100% had a nose job.
But I don't think she's had any work since.
That's probably why they kind of worked that into Friends.
Into the show, yeah.
Because in Friends, she had a nose job also. So I think they did. So I think they probably did it just kind of poke a little fun at her.
Yeah.
Courtney
Because
Cox.
she needed
Oof.
it.
Courtney Cox. Well, Courtney Cox had collagen implants, and
She
her
is,
face swelled up, and she looked bad.
Yeah.
But
does
after
not look like herself.
yeah,
After
well,
that
she-
swelling went
she
down,
looks
though, she looks better.
Well, after a couple of years, it breaks down.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's back to normal. She looks like normal, just old Courtney Cox now. Yeah, she doesn't look like.
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't look like she got stung by bees.
It still
She
does,
just,
but-
are you suffering from an allergic reaction?
Yeah,
All
but
right. All right. So where are we going today?
where were we?
well,
going?
you haven't even
I don't
given
know.
your intro yet. You haven't even
Hello.
talked.
Well, I just kind of was going to breeze
Mandy's
right
here.
over. it.
She's here for the night.
Yes.
Yes.
She's joining us.
Hello, Mandy. So yeah, any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@lifeandgenralpodcast.com. We're on Twitter at LIGpod. On Facebook, the show's on Podbean, iTunes, Google Podcasts. I keep wanting to say Google Play Music, but it's Google Podcasts now.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, they changed it. So Google has their own like native podcast app on Android devices.
Ah.
It's called Google Podcast. So yeah, we're on that. We're on Stitcher, Podcast Addict, iHeartRadio, Spotify, all that stuff. we actually have a topic today.
Yes.
So the Oscars were
2 weeks
a month ago.
No, it's 2 weeks ago.
Well, by the time the show comes out, it'll be a month ago.
Okay, it was a month ago. Woo!
And I don't know. It kind of got me thinking about, because I remember like reading after the Oscar nominations were announced, they had a whole. Of course, every year they have the article about all the snubs. Well, this movie didn't get nominated, and this one did, and blah blah. And it kind of made me think: has the Oscars, and I guess you can kind of put this to
all award shows,
all award shows, have they kind of lost their relevance?
Well, maybe not to the people getting the awards. It's probably still relevant to them, but I think the world overall, not so much.
I don't know.
I mean, the ratings were up. No, or not up, but they were steady.
Ratings are down.
Down overall, but this year, they said
down.
this year was pretty much on par with last year. Nothing dropped this year.
Okay. But, I mean, if you want to look, so the high, ratings-wise, I actually have, I did notes, believe it or not.
User.
Surprise.
So the viewership has fallen from a high of 57.2 million in 1998
Okay.
to 29.6 million this year. That's a huge fucking drop-off.
Yeah. In
First of all, number
20
one,
years.
because you could stream everything. You can DVR it. You can
Right.
watch it later. So I don't know if that has a...
Are those live numbers?
Those are DVR numbers also,
Oh.
because they can track all that. Yeah.
But usually it takes a couple
It
days.
takes a couple of days for it to go through, yeah.
That's pretty unimpressive.
No, and that's what I'm saying. They've lost, almost 30 million viewers in the span of 20,
Do you think
21 years?
that irrelevance
Or
isn't
20
necessarily...
years. 'Cause I guess it's 20 years, because
20
technically,
years,
because 1998 was, the 1998 show was filmed in 1999, just like this year was the 2018.
Right.
So within 20 years, they've lost almost 30 million viewers.
Do you think that has more to do with the audience more than the actual relevance of the awards themselves?
I mean, and that's kind of what I'm trying to, and that's why I don't know.
Right.
Or is it just people are just kind of tired of, because we see it every year. Oh, The Shape of Water beat, whatever.
Right.
I think we accept that now, that the best movies don't win. So
see that's subject to opinion. I think
really, I mean,
to a degree.
How does Alfred Hitchcock never win a best director award?
Because all of his movies were made before 1980, and there was no appreciation for those kind of movies.
I mean, but not
beyond the film buffs and everything.
North by Northwest doesn't even get a nomination at 59.
Right.
I mean, it's
because thrillers didn't get nominations.
Okay, fine. You want to talk about post or after that? How does Kubrick not win for 2001? It wasn't even nominated in 68.
Because back then...
How does The Clockwork Orange not win?
Because back then, 2001 was the highest-grossing sci-fi movie of all time, and it made $25 million.
Okay. How does Gandhi beat E.T. in 82?
Again, science fiction.
These are all like egregious...
It's because science fiction is not considered... The same
fine.
reason...
Shakespeare in Love beats Saving Private Ryan in 1999.
That one I can't explain, but because war movies do typically win or potentially win.
Francis Ford Coppola lost in 72 for The Godfather to whoever directed Cabaret.
Well, hey, and don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna defend it. The Exorcist lost to The Sting.
Yeah. I mean, Spielberg wasn't even nominated for Best Director in 75 for Jaws.
But that was a horror movie, or at least classified as a horror movie.
How does the Lego Movie not even get nominated?
Because it's a children's movie.
That's what I'm saying. I'm talking for Best Animated Feature. It didn't even get nominated in 2014. It didn't even get a nomination. Yeah. I think that's probably why some people have said, you know what? Why am I watching this? It's Hollywood patting themselves on the back for doing it.
So what did?
In 2014, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember.
I know there's always, every year, there's at least one category or one movie that doesn't win that really should have won. I mean, hey, I'm still in the camp that Sylvester Stallone should have won for Creed.
He should have. I mean, and at
not
least
to give credit who did win, but I think Stallone should have won that fucking award.
He should have. And I think that was kind of. I remember going into, that was 2014. I think going into that, and that was the other thing. Michael B. Jordan didn't even get nominated,
right?
For Creed.
That's also that's pretty.
And he didn't.
Pretty
he didn't even get nominated for Black Panther, which is ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because he's
awesome.
one of the few Marvel villains that standalone villains that were actually like legit.
Yeah. So what was that? Was 2014? Let's see. Big Hero 6 won, which is good. I love Big Hero 6 is a good movie.
Yeah.
So
did that win because Disney has the money to put behind their campaign,
and ABC hosts the Oscars. I don't know. Let's see what else was nominated that year. The Box Trolls.
Yeah, I can see that nominated.
How to Train Your Dragon. Song of the Sea. The Tale of the Princess.
Yeah, but what won? It doesn't matter.
And that's what I'm saying. But the Lego New movie wasn't even nominated. Those were nominated at least.
Right. Yeah, the couple of those I never even heard of. Lego movie, everybody heard of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it did huge numbers.
It did huge numbers, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Is it things like that people are like, well...
To some degree, but I think I'm after you mentioned those numbers and the time frame, I'm like thinking about what is the market, or what is the audience that they're trying to appeal to. I don't think that audience is there. I mean, they're going to get the same audience they had, say, the people who were watching consistently in 1998, 99.
Yeah.
And have watched consistently since then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the same amount of people that just watch casually, because casually it's like, I don't care. Because the audience has changed. That would be my guess. Because, I mean, the argument that you're making can apply to everything. Any award show. It can apply to the Grammys. It can apply to...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we can...
But I feel like the Oscars are...
have much more notoriety or more...
Well, that it seems like their errors are a lot bigger. I mean, like I said, with Michael B. Jordan not even being nominated for Black Panther. The same thing with Won't You Be My Neighbor, which is the documentary about Fred Rogers. That didn't even get a nomination for Best Documentary. I mean, it just...
Was that in the theaters?
No, yeah.
Okay. Because there's that stigma about, like, streaming services and their shows and their own personal their original films. Steven Spielberg just got in a little trouble because he said that Netflix original shouldn't be allowed in the Oscars.
Well, I mean, it's hard. I mean, where do you draw that line?
Well, that's the point. It's
because
difficult. That's
Netflix isn't just a TV service,
right?
It's a streaming service, but Netflix is more movie based than TV based. See, that's kind of...
they have the original series too.
Yeah, but that's how I've always kind of looked at the difference between Netflix and Hulu. You're shaking your head for me, Mandy.
Because I disagree. I think Netflix is a lot of TV-based shows.
Well, I would agree. It's probably maybe 50-50 or maybe slightly more TV.
But what I'm saying, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about like overall image of it. Netflix always seems like that's the movie streaming service, and Hulu is always the TV streaming service.
Right.
Because I think Hulu's percentage is probably a lot more TV than Netflix.
And I could be wrong, but I can't think of any Hulu original movies, whereas Netflix does have several original movies.
A ton of original.
Bird Box. I mean, that was...
TV shows, movies, everything. Full House, everything.
But I mean, so when it's but in the category of Won't You Be My Neighbor, that's a documentary, so that kind of crosses.
What did win that?
But they didn't. If they didn't produce it on the big screen.
Well, that's why I asked, because Spielberg's...
Well,
his statement was is if it's not filmed for a theater, a wide release, it's not in the same category as his films and other films.
Free Solo was the documentary that won.
And what's that about?
What is that?
I have no clue. I have absolutely no clue.
You say Free Solo to me, I'm like... Han Solo?
Yeah. the movie that won, you remember this one, Mandy, the best documentary short subject? That was Period, end of sentence. When you think of that, I mean, it was a movie about menstruation.
Huh.
But you say I remember that.
Because we were laughing about it.
Well, you do menstruate.
Well, no. So when they announced the movie, when they were announcing the who was nominated, they said Period, end of sentence. And I think we were like, is that a period movie? And then it ended up being a period movie. Yeah. So it's fine.
Yeah,
well, you do know why that won. In the age of the Me Too movement, it was probably an entire female cast.
No, because people really aren't.
No, because I think
they're on board with
Hollywood
that.
is though.
Hey, Ian,
I don't think they are.
Ian, I'm just going off of vague memory here. I think the movie has more to do with like menstruation, how women are menstruating women, how they're treated in like.
In Muslim countries?
In Muslim countries,
yeah,
and things
because
like
they have to live in separate tents while they're menstruating. Women have actually died because they get infections and they can't leave because they're menstruating and they die.
And I think that movie is kind of geared more towards that.
Okay, fair enough. But
It's
still,
not
I mean,
it's not like talking about some girl in New York.
My neighbor.
I like documentaries.
I still think Won't You Be My Neighbor it should have at least been nominated.
Right. I
can't-
like documentaries, but I have a hard time because the value of a documentary is going to be far more subjective than a movie because you either agree with the premise or you don't.
Yep.
If you don't, you're less likely to watch it.
Yes.
So and myself included, I'll watch a documentary if the subject's interesting, even though I may not agree with the subject matter. But I'm also going to judge the movie based on whatever side the movie is the documentary's falling on.
Yeah.
I might
I'm
watch.
assuming you have not seen Won't You Be My Neighbor?
I have not yet, but I really want to.
It was really good.
Yeah.
It was
so
really
good.
good.
I cried.
Yeah.
So
what service
so
is it
much.
on? Is it on a service yet?
We watched it on HBO.
Oh, then I can probably watch it on my
Yeah, we watched it on
Go
HBO.
if I can figure out how to use it.
Yeah, we watched it on HBO now.
Okay.
We watched it now.
But so I mean I can't really comment on why that one won over why the Mr. Rogers one wasn't even nominated because to me I think documentaries are even far more subjective than
Oh, wait. Yeah.
And I understand, I'm not throwing a big fit about. I don't remember the actress's name, but her winning Best Actress over Lady Gaga, which I think Lady Gaga obviously deserved it. I think at least watching A Star Is Born, I haven't watched the movie that the lady actually won from.
What was?
I think she was from The Favorite. I think is the movie.
I don't know.
that would have been like.
But I'm not complaining about who won. I'm saying some people should at least get nominations. How did Bradley Cooper not get nominated at least for Best Director this year?
What did he direct?
A Star Is Born.
Oh, he directed it
Yeah.
and started it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fantastic movie.
I haven't seen
But
it.
maybe because it's a remake that they.
That has nothing to do with it.
Well, no, it
Okay. I
might
don't
have
know.
something
I
to
don't
do with it. Doesn't
'Cause
have
it's
as
not-
much to do with it now as it used to.
Because it's not really a remake. It's like a rethinking of a.
Reimagining, yeah, but
it's
that's
reimagining of it.
semantics.
I know
That's
that, but it's
semantics.
not
Yeah.
because what year did that come out? 78.
And that was technically a remake too.
Yes, actually, that's a remake of a remake because the original one came out in the 30s, and then
Right.
Judy Garland redid it in the 40s, I
Okay.
think.
And then Barbara Streisand.
And Barbara Streisand redid it in the 70s, and then they did this time.
Okay.
But the first three of the movies were all pretty similar. This one's very different. Even the names are different. The circumstances are different. What happens at the end is different.
Huh.
Well,
Well,
I don't want to give too much away. of
Have
the
you
movie.
seen it?
No,
No.
Ian hasn't
Oh.
seen it.
no.
Yeah, I
it's
know.
Not on my radar.
You got to see it. I think everyone
well,
should see
neither
it.
was La La Land, and I relatively enjoyed.
Yeah, but
that.
this isn't a musical.
I know,
No.
but it's it's not. It's just not on my radar.
It's a rock movie.
I've got
It-
got so many other things I want to watch, and I'm not even getting into a lot of that right now.
Yeah.
So the other day I couldn't. I like I said, I have a lot I want to watch. I ended up watching a movie I didn't even know existed.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's just
definitely this needs to be on your radar.
like okay.
And I
Yeah.
mean that.
Are you threatening me?
I am.
But
I'll come to your house.
and it seems like there's a lot
I know
of
where you
people.
live.
Yeah, I know you do.
There's a lot of people that seem like they were upset about even Green Book beating even Bohemian Rhapsody this year.
Even though Bohemian Rhapsody got a lot of flack just for even being nominated.
Well, even okay, fine. If you want to take that out, beating A Star Is Born, which a lot of people thought that would win, also, just
What was
because
Green Book?
that was the movie about the black musician driving through the South with a white driver. It was based on a true story.
I heard
but
that was really bad.
But from what
I heard, it just wasn't accurate.
Yeah,
and the
that-
family was really
Exactly.
upset about
yeah,
it.
and that's kind of what I was going at was okay. I understand. Okay, they made a good movie, but and okay, maybe it is a good movie and maybe it is worthy of winning, but so do they not look at okay? There's so many historical inaccuracies in this, so much Hollywood liberties that's been taken with it. Does that kind of subtract from it a little bit?
It should.
I don't know. I would think it would.
It should.
But people
From
say,
what I've heard from everybody, it's not an accurate story. It's a horrible.
There were elements of Bohemian Rhapsody that weren't very accurate either.
no, but I understand why some of that was done.
I do too, and I haven't seen Green Book yet, and that's on my it's been on my radar. But I will still watch it even knowing that it's maybe historically inaccurate, depending on how well it's done, and where once I'm done watching it, I'll go back and see what's inaccurate about it and see was that justifiable to change.
Yeah.
For the 2 hour length of a movie, because you can't fit it all into a movie. Other things have to be truncated.
Yeah. And that's kind of some of the slack that Bohemian Rhapsody gets is because there's really only one part of that movie that's fabricated and kind of changes the trajectory of the story.
Right.
And that's the whole thing about them getting fight and breaking up.
Right.
That never happened.
Oh, I didn't know
Outside of that, there are some inaccuracies in the movie, but it's like moving the timeline around.
Yeah.
Like
when he meets Jim, when he goes back to Jim and says, I found myself like you said I should, and come with me. It wasn't on the day of Live Aid like it shows in the movie.
Yeah, but it didn't happen in Live Aid.
Right.
He told the band about him having AIDS, but he didn't know until 3 years later.
Not
after
2 weeks
Live Aid?
before.
After Live, yeah. He found it in 87, I think.
Right, which is 2 years after.
2 years after Live Aid. But the thing is, they wanted that movie to end with Live Aid. They wanted Live Aid to kind of be the climactic moment, but it was also part of him was also his AIDS diagnosis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they wanted to have that part in the movie. So that's why they kind of moved the timeline.
Well,
around.
and I would
they didn't
say that
completely fabricate things.
people would have made an argument that if they hadn't included the HIV issue,
that
they would have been trying to whitewash it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they claim that they tried to whitewash his homosexuality in the movie. Do you think they did? That was a huge argument.
That was a huge argument.
That was a huge. They said there wasn't enough gayness in it.
Yes, and I saw that a lot in a lot of reviews. That there are people that were just pissed because this was the first time you've had like a openly homosexual, like large.
But he wasn't open. That's the thing.
Well, he was in his personal life.
I guess so. Yeah.
And he didn't like. And I guess he was bisexual. He wasn't necessarily homosexual.
It seemed clear to me.
Well, but he dated women in the 80s.
I didn't know he was gay. And then when I watched the movie, I was like, oh, okay.
You know what's funny? My mom didn't either. Because
Really?
I watched the movie with her. She's like, is he gay? I'm like, he's Freddie Mercury. Yeah, he's fucking gay.
I had no idea.
I'm like, how did you not know that? You were around when all this was going on. But no.
But it was a good movie. And I think it deserved the accolades that it got.
I love
If nothing else,
Rami Malek absolutely deserved the best best actor award.
Anybody in that movie nominated would have deserved it, I think, because everyone in that movie was awesome.
Yeah.
he was a standout.
But
He was the star of the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, you can't really argue with that.
No.
And you can look back and like I mentioned Shape of Water earlier. I mean, it was
Never
kind of a weak year. It did beat out Darkest Hours,
which
The
I
Post.
love. Darkest Hour.
The Post I heard was really good. I haven't seen either one of those, but we saw Dunkirk.
The Post, that was Tom Hanks and Meryl Streep?
Yeah.
You didn't see that?
No,
I did.
I have it, but I haven't watched it.
Oh,
And
that's actually really good.
We watched Dunkirk, that was a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I like Dunkirk,
We watched that in
too.
Florida. But yeah, that's what Shape of Water
Trying to
beat
evacuate
those.
the island of the British soldiers. They didn't have enough boats. They were like commandeering civilian boats.
Oh, maybe Mandy didn't watch that. We reviewed it for Entertainment Now.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I think you watched it alone.
I might have watched that alone, but that was a really good movie.
While I was doing homework in the bedroom.
Yeah. If you look, the year before that was 2016. Moonlight won, which Moonlight was a really good movie.
I seem to remember there being some uproar of that too.
There was, but it beat out La La Land. It beat out.
That's what it was.
It beat out Hacksaw Ridge.
That's what it was because they announced La La Land. Remember Warren Beatty announced
Oh,
La La
that's
Land,
right.
and it was Moonlight.
That's right. So yeah, it beat La La
Was
Land.
Moonlight the black eyes?
Yes.
Okay.
No.
The black guys who were gay.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it was. So yeah, it beat La La Land. It beat Hacksaw Ridge. That's what we watched in Florida. That was really good, and it also beat Hidden Figures.
Oh, I loved Hidden Figures.
All three of those probably should have won over Moonlight.
Okay, see, I haven't seen Moonlight yet, but I loved Hidden Figures.
Moonlight was
I think
good.
it was a big step though. Gay black guys.
Yeah, but
black women scientists in the 1960s.
Yeah, I mean it just.
I mean, I see your point though.
Yeah.
I mean, both sides are equal as far as the argument goes.
The year before that, and I'm just going to go back like 5 years. The year before that, 2015, Spotlight won, which Spotlight was a fantastic movie. But it did beat The Martian, it beat Bridge of Spies, and it beat The Revenant, which I saw all those movies. The Revenant I thought was a good movie. I didn't think it was that great of a movie.
I mean, it was okay.
It was okay.
It was,
and I don't think Leonardo DiCaprio should have won for Best Actor.
Is that the one where he was like out in the wilderness.
Yeah, he got beat up by
I
the
never
bear.
saw that.
Yeah. The year before that, Birdman won, which Birdman, I am sorry, was fucking trash.
That's a musical, right?
No, Birdman was
I thought it was. It was the guy.
Michael Keaton. He was the
No, the other guy.
huh?
Isn't there another guy in there that
Oh no, you're thinking
from
of that.
Mrs. Doubtfire?
No, you're thinking that was Birdcage. You're thinking of the Birdcage.
With Robin Williams and Nathan Lane. They're a couple.
Yeah.
And
No,
his daughter is
Nathan
getting...
Lang wasn't in Birdman.
No.
Birdman was Michael Keaton, and where the whole movie you didn't know if he was really a superhero or not. And at the
Ew.
end, and it was really weird. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at
To be honest
all.
with you, I haven't seen it yet.
Me either.
But it beat Selma, which is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, I like Selma.
It beat The Theory of Everything, which we watched. That was a fantastic movie. That was the movie
Albert
about
Einstein. Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking. We watched
Oh.
that. That was really good. And it beat. I wasn't a big fan of it, but it got a lot of hype, and I heard it was a really good movie, which was American Sniper. Birdman probably shouldn't have beat any of those.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with it beating American Sniper because I have
That's
no...
the problem
I have
with
no...
this.
Because
these
it is...
awards, because they're never what you think they're
Yeah.
supposed
And that's
to be.
why I'm
It's
not really-
always the movie that you're like, oh, that will never win, and then it always wins. Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Well, but
understand
is that-
who judges.
But is that part of the reason that people have stopped watching it?
Probably.
The Academy judges, and I think it's based if you've been in the... Is it the guild for so long, or you're a member of the of the
Guild,
Film Institute?
whatever, yeah.
Which hundreds and hundreds of actors and directors are.
Mm-hmm.
They all vote. I mean, Spielberg votes. Everyone votes. All those people vote.
You just wonder.
But
like, what
but
are
there's
they
also
voting on?
here's the thing that bothers me. If your movie is good, why is it every studio has to run an Oscar campaign every year on the movies?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're running a campaign, you're selling the merit of your movie. Your merit isn't winning on its
And
own.
if they're watching them, like, and I know it's a matter of opinion. I
Of
totally
course,
understand
it
that
always
because
will be,
we
yeah.
all, like, even the three of us have different opinions for movies.
Yeah.
But why is it always like the one that nobody
heard of or
wants to
like,
win? Like, I've never watched that. I've never heard of that. What
Yeah.
is that? Okay, well,
I would say the one time that happened, but I still agreed with the win was The Artist. I don't know what year, 2011 maybe. It's a silent film, but it's really good and really easy to watch. If you don't like silent films,
Artist?
yeah, you could still really enjoy the movie.
And there's a lot of people that are pissed about that winning too.
Yeah,
There's
I know
big
there was a lot of
uproar.
uproar of that, but
don't
I
remember-
really enjoyed it.
I don't remember who that was up against. Real quick, I wanted to go back though to the year Sylvester Stallone was nominated for Best Supporting Actor. It was actually a hell of a field. It was Sylvester Stallone for Creed, Mark Ruffalo for Spotlight, Tom Hardy for The Revenant, Christian Bale for The Big Short, and then Mark Rylance, who won for Bridge of Spies. That's a hell of a category.
I know, but
And I wanted Stallone to win. I was okay with who won it.
yeah, I don't know. I still haven't seen. Well, I saw Bridge of Spies. I did enjoy it. I don't know who he is in that movie. That's the case.
Bridge
where
of
it's-
Spies. He's the guy that Tom Hanks brings. He's the
Okay,
spy.
yeah, I can see that. He was really good.
Yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was in that
is that
category.
the old movie? Where
Bridge of Spies? No.
It was Tom Hanks. He's like
I haven't seen
I don't
that
remember
one.
what his character was, but he ends up getting wrapped up in escorting a Soviet spy back to
I haven't seen that.
his people and to exchange for others. All kinds of like espionage stuff.
Hey, the year The Artist won, I remember the big uproar about it winning, but I don't know what was supposed to beat it.
What are the movies?
The Descendants,
Okay.
Extremely Loud, Incredibly Close,
Okay.
The Help,
Oh, that
which
was-
the
that
Help
was
was
Tom Hanks.
The Help was good.
And I love The Help.
Tom
That's-
Hanks is extremely loud and incredibly close.
yeah. Hugo, Midnight in Paris, Moneyball, The Tree of Life, which I thought was terrible,
Yeah.
and Warhorse.
See, out of those three,
we started watching Tree of Life. We made it like 20 minutes in and I had to turn it off.
Yeah.
out of that category, as much as I like The Artist, I think The Help should have won. I love that.
Oh,
movie.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that movie. That movie
Yeah,
makes
that
me-
was good.
it's another
That
one
was
of
I
those
have
movies
not
that-
seen. I have not fully watched Extremely.
Extremely Loud, Incredibly
That's
Close.
the one about the kid whose dad dies in 9/11.
I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know anything. I just know Tom Hanks is one, and I bought it. And
I mean, there was a couple years that you really couldn't argue with. I mean, 12 Years a Slave won in 2013.
Yeah.
I don't really give a shit what you put up there. Nothing was really going to beat.
Because that's a movie that
it should have won. Yeah.
Yeah, it
because
did.
It accomplished everything a movie like that should.
Yeah. Argo won it the year before, which that was such a fantastic movie.
It was okay. I mean, I'm not
Is that the one where they went?
It was Ben Affleck.
Yeah, they had to go rescue people from somewhere else or something. Yeah.
Which surprisingly enough, Django was nominated that year.
Huh. See, I didn't really. I mean, I liked Argo, but I think I like Django better.
Really?
Yeah.
Sam Jackson.
Yeah, Sam Jackson's awesome though.
Yeah. But it
Why
was
does
really
he
it
still
was
look
Christoph
like he's
Waltz.
freaking 35 years
Oh,
old.
that was a lot of. You're talking about, and well, for anyone that's listening, we watched
Captain Marvel.
We went and saw Captain Marvel this morning. Mandy, there was a lot of CGI and makeup.
The makeup. I don't think there was much
I think,
CGI
no,
going
there's
on.
no CGI.
Because they can't.
He's a black man. He looks freaking good. He
Okay.
was.
and they
It was
can't,
definitely a lot of makeup.
They
No,
haven't
he was a black
mastered
man.
the
He's good.
the de-aging and having people run around and move around like that.
I guess
they
that's
have to
probably
be
true.
more stationary.
Yeah, you're probably
Otherwise,
right.
the face looks off.
I do have to.
Hence, Superman in
Yes,
in
and
Justice
even the
League.
one or two little moments of Tarkin in Rogue One,
Yeah.
and that's not even a de-aging. That's like
No.
a complete, but
Complete
same
CGI person.
CGI person, yeah.
Why would you watch Superman?
Huh?
Justice League.
He's in Justice League. So when
And Superman is awesome.
when
He's the
that-
best comic book character ever. So it's okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
So the actor that plays Superman in Justice League was filming another movie when they were doing the retake when they were doing the reshoots for Justice League, and in the final, so he had a mustache that he couldn't shave off
because he was still doing the other movie.
because he was still doing the other movie. So they had to CGI over his mouth, and in the final,
It looks terrible.
The final scene in Justice League where
Because
he
it's
races.
freaking Superman. Sorry.
It doesn't look terrible because of Superman.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
it's
terrible.
because it's Superman.
You like that movie though?
What's
I
wrong
don't
with
like
Truth and
Superman.
Justice? Superman is awesome.
Ew, who likes Superman?
I do.
He does
millions
nothing but
of
fly around
and,
and
like,
do nothing.
Beat up bad guys. And
That's
then
all
he-
any of them do.
Like
really.
he
That's
just
all they
flies
are.
around.
Iron Man just flies around.
No, he does other stuff.
Yeah, he can shoot like lasers out of his hands, but Superman,
Yeah, Superman can't do that.
he shoots lasers out of his eyes.
Does he really?
Yes, and he can super breath, so he can like blow things away with
so
his breath.
he's got really stinky morning breath.
Okay, so Superman is DC.
Yes.
Yes.
That's why.
Mandy's not a big fan.
You don't
of
like
it.
Batman?
No, she does not like.
What the
Batman.
fuck is wrong with your wife? I love you, man.
I kind of have to agree with her. I prefer Marvel movies.
I do.
And Marvel characters.
Let
over
me be
Superman
clear.
Or DC.
I prefer Marvel movies too. I prefer DC Comics.
Well, you're talking to two people that really don't
read
read
comics.
comics. I mean, I used to when I was younger.
Yeah. Well, I still do.
But then I
And
kind
I'm
of
telling
grew.
you,
Then I kind of grew up.
I prefer DC Comics. Actually, right now, I
What
think
else is DC?
Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Flash. You didn't like Wonder Woman?
No.
the
She-
Suicide Squad. Those are all
Suicide
DC.
Squad was DC.
Okay, I did like Suicide Squad because
Yeah.
they were like raunchy.
And
Yeah.
bad guys. They're all bad guys.
Yeah, I like that one.
You like the bad guys.
Mhm.
That's why you don't like Superman.
Yes.
Superman doesn't like the bad guys. He
Well,
doesn't like the good
she
guys.
likes Marvel, and those aren't bad guys.
Well, that's
But-
true.
They're not all white and
Oh, is that what it is? You just don't like the white people.
Well, Cyborg's black. He's DC.
wait, is it Teen Titans?
Yeah,
No, he's in
Oh.
Justice League.
he's in Justice League
Yeah,
also.
Robin.
I know Teen Titans.
Teen Titans is the fucking DC. It's all DC.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know
No,
that.
you like Teen Titans Go.
Yes, I do.
That's not the same. But anyway, I'll give you at least a
but I
little,
didn't know that.
half a credit for
so
liking
that girl that's on there.
Which one?
Which one?
There's Raven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
The
didn't know.
DC streaming service has done a live action.
Are they
Titans
real?
show.
Is Raven real? Like, or is it just for Teen Titans Go?
No, she's a
That's
real, character.
character.
That's what I was about to say. It's not called. It's just called Titans, and it's a live action TV show.
Mhm.
Ran 10 episodes. They're going to do a second season. Fantastic. Raven's awesome. You would love it. It's dark. Not really sure who the good guys are and who the bad
Cyborg
guys
and
are.
Robin and I love those guys.
Superman and Batman are in Teen
I
Titans
don't
Go.
like Superman and Batman. I
Wow.
like Teen Titans
Yeah.
Go. Didn't know that.
Yeah, even when I was younger and liked comic books,
You were more of an X-Men.
I was always more Marvel.
Yeah.
The Marvel.
No, I grew up
characters.
on DC, so I'm a DC. guy.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got to remember when I was little. I mean, I was getting comics when I was like 2 and 3 years old.
You're like what?
A year
a year
and a half older. But I was getting him when I was a kid, like little. He was older when he started getting them.
No, I was probably. Well, I wasn't that young, but I was probably 6, 7, 8.
I still have comics I got when I was 3.
Yeah, well.
And they were Superman and Batman comics. That's what I grew up on. And Super Friends. Super Friends was still rerunning, and they actually had a new run of that when we were kids. So I had Super Friends. There were no Marvel movies. There were no Marvel TV shows. It was all DC stuff.
Ian was geekier than us.
You say that like it's a surprise. My favorite television is Star Trek, Doctor Who, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
I know.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. People are like, "Why don't you watch this?" or "Why don't you do that?" I'm like, I'd rather just sit and watch Doctor Who.
But you love scary movies. And
I love scary movies. But see, that's a whole other level of geekiness too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know I was that side of geeky.
You are. You have some geek in you.
All right.
You have a nice little
I
geek
like
streak.
I did
very
like
much,
my
Not much.
Marvel movie today, but
Yeah.
I was confused.
Captain
because
Marvel was awesome.
They need to put it in order. Like, I'm so confused because it's like they show you this and then it's like, but I already saw
This is the argument that Ian and I always get into.
what happened
see,
50 years ago. And
When
now
I
it's
when I
like,
put them in my
okay.
collection, I put them chronologically. So even though Captain America was like the 4th movie, the first one was like the 4th or 5th movie, I watch it first because it takes place in the 1940s.
Exactly.
So I watch that first. Then I watch Iron. Well, now I'll watch Captain Marvel because she's 1990s. Then Iron Man is 2000s, and so on and so on.
That's why I was like, I
I
wasn't
just-
confused, but I was like,
You saw that it was out of
seriously,
order.
like,
Yeah.
why is this happening now? And then they're like watching him, and I'm like, okay, well, that happened a long time ago, but now it hasn't happened, but now it is happening, or it's happening later. Like,
I know what order they're supposed to go in based on when they take place, and that's the order I watch.
and I've
them.
never ever read a comic, so I can't say that like I know what's going
There's
on.
some really good ones you should check out if you want a list.
No, I won't, but I don't read.
Mandy's got books that she doesn't have time to read.
Right.
No, exactly. I
Get
like
through a
these
comic book in
movies,
10 minutes.
but I'm just so confused in the order that they happen. Like, I don't
Right.
Okay.
understand
I
that.
got
I'm
you.
sorry that I took you way
No,
off.
it's
you're
fine.
fine.
This is, we go way off every episode.
There's been times where we've had a topic that we both pretty much agreed on, and we spent more than 3/4 of the show arguing about something completely different.
Yeah, I
Like
remember-
yelling at
I
each
don't
other.
remember what the episode was, but we spent like seriously the first 40 minutes
Arguing.
before we got to the topic.
And then we were like, yeah, we totally agree on this
Let's
one.
talk about this.
But kind of back on topic though,
Yeah.
is another aspect of the reason that maybe people don't pay as much attention to it is because they see it as too political. Because
I don't think so, but it is.
Nope.
That's
because
my
it is.
problem with it.
It is, but I mean, because we live in such a divided country, and
See
what,
that?
Randy? Go ahead.
My honest opinion is because people do not sit in front of the TV and watch a show when it's on. We tape it. We DVR it. Like,
Right.
we watch it later. Like, there's...
Well, those factor into numbers.
Right, but still, what I think what she's saying is a live show like that is probably less likely to be DVR'd because it's kind of a in the moment type of thing.
I would think it would be.
And even if you still DVR it, if you don't watch it, does that count? I don't know.
And by the next morning, everything
We're done.
You know everybody.
Yeah, you
what
forget.
Yeah, maybe. Okay.
And you can just go online
I guess
and see
that's
all
true
the
because
winners.
there's been times I've DVR'd like the ESPYs, and then
Never watch
I'll
it.
never watch it.
And you yourself have never and never will DVR a sports game.
I have.
No.
I have.
He does not. He does not.
I have. I absolutely have.
I asked you once. I said, "Why can't you just DVR it instead of having to say, because you can't
He
do
won't.
that."
He wants
I-
to watch it live.
Well, it's correct. If I have the choice, I'll watch it live. There have been a couple of instances where I have DVR'd a soccer game and watched it, and it's not as fun to watch it knowing the outcome. It just isn't,
Why do you have to? Why
Why do you
have to
know the outcome?
because it just takes a lot of the suspense out of it.
No, but why do you know the outcome?
Yeah, just
Oh,
avoid
because-
avoid the news until you watch it.
Avoids. I mean,
That's
'cause
what I do with Bachelor. I turn everything off. I
It's
don't
technically
listen.
that's like sports for women.
I guess I'm more of a connected person. I mean, I'm just connected more
I'm
to the
connected
internet.
too, but you just turn it off. Like, you don't go to whatever is going to...
Self-control.
Exactly.
And I have done it before. I have DVR'd something like we've gone, especially when Jack would have soccer on Saturday mornings. That's where all the English soccer games are on. So if I wasn't listening to it while he was playing, I would DVR it, and I would turn off the notifications on my phone. Then I would come home and watch it.
Okay. But it's something that's in the moment that doesn't translate as well to DVR.
Correct.
For the vast majority.
Same thing for the awards.
And that's
I get
right.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I get that.
So,
I get that.
I don't know. And as far as the politics go, I don't know if most people even understand the amount of politics that go into it. The campaign.
We understand.
We
it.
understand.
Oh, I
it.
mean,
think most
when I
people
say
don't.
when I say political, I mean
like subject matters of the
like
films.
they get up there and like have a political speech.
Yeah, but see, that's always kind of been there in small amounts. But
I
it's
know, but
always
it
been
seems like
there.
it's gotten
a little worse.
It's gotten worse.
But don't forget, Michael Moore was ostracized for doing that.
Oh, he was booed.
Yeah,
They openly booed him.
right while he was accepting his award.
Yes.
So that doesn't happen as much
That
anymore.
was Bowling for Columbine. What was he? 2000?
No, I thought he won for Fahrenheit 9/11. Was that
No,
the
Same-
same?
he won for Bowling for Columbine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same difference. Whatever.
Right.
It's still a
Yeah.
great documentary, but
Yeah. I haven't seen any of his newer ones.
No, neither have I.
But I don't know. I don't know. As far as other award shows go, I think the Grammys started losing their relevance when they gave Jethro Tull an award over Metallica.
But
Because that
I didn't even know that happened
oh yeah,
you were
until Nick said that. Like
yeah,
I was like, what? Come
1989.
on.
Yeah.
it was 20
I was I probably
30
didn't even
years
have
ago.
cable TV.
Well, I didn't see it live because I had a bedtime.
hell, Jethro Tull wasn't even there to accept the award.
Right. Because they knew what everyone else knew.
Well,
They thought that
there was no
yeah.
chance. Metallica was a shoo-in.
Well, their record company said that. Oh yeah, you guys can go,
But we're not paying for it.
we're not paying for it, and Metallica's going to win anyway, so it's kind of pointless. So, and they were working on they were in the studio at the time, so they're like, hell with it, we're not going.
Right. So most of them aren't big on traveling anyway unless there's a paycheck involved.
Yeah,
Which I understand. But
and Ian
but
Anderson, by the way, said he apologized to Alice Cooper the next time he saw him.
did he?
For what?
Because
Alice Cooper had to announce it and accept on their
the
behalf.
award. Yeah,
Yeah, him and Lita Ford on stage.
yeah.
And she's the one who actually announced it. And when she goes, Jethro Tull, and Alice was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it could be taken like, oh, wow, yay.
Did he
But no.
perform and that's why he was there?
Alice?
Yeah, because normally you don't
They had Alice Cooper there.
when you're nominated for a category. Because wasn't he nominated?
He
No, Alice
no.
wasn't nominated
Oh,
for
I
that.
thought you said he was. I'm
No.
sorry, it was Metallica. Never
Metallica.
mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
It was the first year of the hard rock
rock.
heavy metal category.
which Jethro Tull
Yes,
is not.
her eyebrow raised for good reason. And the album that they won for is one of their lighter albums.
And it beat Injustice for All.
I don't know what that is. But
That's
okay.
Metallica's
That's
big
Metallica.
I
album.
don't like Metallica because
I know, but
all the
in all whether
Streaming stuff.
Yeah.
right,
Napster and all that.
get
yeah.
away from me.
yeah,
I'm over you. But I do love.
try
their
not
music.
to sum Metallica by the actions of their drummer, because he tends to
It
speak
was only him.
pretty much.
Oh.
Lars seemed to be the big push behind
Yeah,
all that.
all the hearings and everything. It was just him there. The
Yeah.
other band members
No,
were not
they
there.
were. Kurt was there at the one I remember seeing.
Oh, not the one. I only ever remember seeing.
But
Lars.
yeah, Lars seems to be like
he's just an asshole. He's an asshole to everybody around him.
I did love their music. That was
It
the
is some good
only
music.
one time
Metal or rock you liked.
yes.
That's why I was just.
Is
I
Metallica.
and it's
picked up-
probably the Black Album that you really liked.
right, which makes sense because I
And
was
Injustice for All was definitely a harder album
yeah,
than
for
the
sure.
Black Album.
But it was kind of transitioning towards that Black Album sound.
yeah,
Because we were talking about that yesterday. Because I picked up Ride the Lightning, which was their second album on vinyl.
which
yesterday.
is even harder than.
Oh yeah, it's considered a thrash album,
yeah.
which their first two albums were more thrash metal. Then Master of Puppets
like
started
Black song, whatever. Like
Fade to
no.
Black.
Yeah.
Fade to Black's one of my favorite songs.
No, she's thinking Nothing Else Matters. Is that what you're thinking of?
I like that one too.
Yeah.
Understand, man.
No, maybe that's.
I love
yeah.
that one too.
Yeah, yeah.
She
See, it's the Black
likes,
Album,
She likes the Black Album.
which makes sense because it was more accessible to the
It was.
mainstream, which is
It
why
was
it,
more
and it was-
pop music.
and
for
it was
me.
around that same time.
and that album won in 1992.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing Lars said when he gets up there, first we'd like to thank Jethro Tull for not putting out an album this year.
But they did. Did they?
Well, 91, yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. But nobody bought that album. Well, the fans bought the album, but it wasn't a huge seller.
Wow.
It sold about maybe 15,000 copies.
That
Oh, it
was
was probably
Greg's
more than that.
favorite.
Oh, I don't think so.
What album was it?
Crest of a Knave only sold 1 million.
Oh.
But Crest of a Knave is the one that won. But there's like maybe 3 rock songs on that album. Like, and that's just rock songs. Those aren't hard rock metal. But that was when people started going, okay, Metallica technically outsold Tull that year.
Yeah.
Critically speaking, Metallica was ahead. And it was a category that Jethro Tull shouldn't have been in.
Yeah.
Theoretically. If there was just a straight rock category, sure, they could probably pass.
Yeah, hard rock. That
Not
doesn't
hard
make
rock
any
and heavy
sense.
metal.
No.
Yeah.
So that's when people started questioning, well, who's really making these decisions?
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed the vitriol towards selections for like Best Picture in the Oscars over the last, say, 10 years seem to be coming down on that same level. It's like, why that movie?
Yeah.
Who's making these decisions?
I feel like it's always been like
But I feel like the Grammys have gotten better.
they may have. I
thi-
haven't watched them.
I feel like, and we normally watch the Grammys.
But see, the
and I
Grammys
feel,
for me, it's too much pop.
Grammys are the
most,
music.
yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff I wouldn't even.
But
know
it's rare that.
Cardi B.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get to. Is at least the categories where I know the artists, I'm generally not surprised by who wins, or at least who's nominated.
Right.
With the Oscars,
Lately,
it seems
it's
like
been weird.
it's
Yeah.
surprised that you're. Even,
No, it's always been like that.
it feels like it's gotten worse though.
No, because at least I know I have seen movies now that have been in the Oscars. I have never, like in previous years, I have never seen movies that have been in the Oscars. But I feel like lately, like the past 5 years, I have watched every movie. Maybe it's because you like those movies and I watch them, so I do
Yeah.
it with you. But before that, like it was always, what's that? What's that?
Well,
what is Vietnam? I don't know what that is.
I mean,
don't
if
know
we
what that
just
is.
look at Best Picture,
Okay.
let's go back to the 90s. Okay, so I'll go from 90 to 99.
Mm-hmm.
Right, 90 was Dances with Wolves. Can't really argue with that. It was a great movie. Next was Silence of the Lambs.
Can't argue with that.
92 was Unforgiven.
Can't argue with that.
Fantastic movie. 93 was Schindler's List.
Can't argue with that.
Forrest.
seen.
Then the next year was
But you're aware of it.
the next year was Forrest Gump.
You can't argue with it.
They won that?
Yeah.
Yeah. They beat Pulp Fiction actually that year.
Well, they should.
95 was Braveheart.
I didn't like that as much, but I
Really?
understand it. Yeah.
I guess Braveheart. It was up against Apollo 13, Babe, The Postman, and Sense and Sensibility.
Apollo
Babe?
13.
Oh my god.
Apollo 13 should have won that one.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, it's hard to.
That's what I mean.
But
like,
we all of us have seen those movies.
Yeah.
But I understand why Braveheart won that year.
I don't.
96 was the English Patient, which I never saw.
I saw it. It was
It was against Fargo, Jerry Maguire, Secrets and Lies, and Shine. So I'm not surprised
I've
that it
only
won.
seen Jerry Maguire. So.
Yeah.
But 97 was Titanic.
it
98,
should be.
98,
Don't you-
and it should have won
Stop
in 98.
it. It was good.
It was against as good as
Sinking
it
was
gets.
good.
The
Yeah.
Full Monty, Goodwill Hunting, and L.A. Confidential.
I did like Good Will
You can
Hunting.
make the argument for Goodwill Hunting.
I
okay?
agree, yes.
But 98 was Shakespeare in Love, and 99 was American Beauty. You can't really argue against any of those winning.
What's
Well-
American Beauty up against? I don't even.
Cider
Is
House
that that
Rules, The
hor-
Green Mile, The Insider, and Sixth Sense.
The Green Mile and
Yeah.
Sixth Sense.
I would take the Green Mile over all those. I love the Sixth Sense too, but Green Mile was just kind of above
Both of
that.
those.
Yeah,
Was
Green Mile.
American Beauty with that creepy man that did
Well,
creepy
we didn't know
things?
he was creepy at the time.
But he played creepy.
No, but he played creepy.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the whole point of the movie. Like it was.
But that's what I'm saying though. Is you look back at the movies from the 90s, you don't see a whole lot of mistakes, or what you would
You could
consider
say
mistakes.
we were seeing a couple. Like I would argue against Titanic because I think it's just
Whereas
a crappy
Where
love
I
story.
wouldn't. But
Whereas
Right.
I think if you look at just the last 5 years, 4 of the 5 probably shouldn't have won. Or you can make the argument.
All right, so let's go. Let's go. Keep
going,
going.
yeah.
2000. Let's
You want
keep
to go through
going.
the 2000s?
Yeah, go-
Yes. Because I didn't realize that I was not that aware of
Okay, fine.
good movies.
2000 was Gladiator,
What was that up
I don't
against?
know that.
Chocolate or Chocolat,
Chocolat, yeah.
Don't know.
Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Don't know.
Aaron Brockovich, and Traffic. Gladiator should have won.
Yeah.
I don't
Cinematically speaking, yes.
A Beautiful Mind won in 2001, which is an absolute fantastic
Yeah,
movie.
what was
Don't
that
know
up
that
against?
one.
Yeah, you do. Russell Crowe, he plays the mathematician who's got...
I didn't watch that one.
Oh, okay.
It was up against Gosford Park, In the Bedroom, Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring, and Moulin Rouge. Beautiful
Oh,
Mind should have won.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess.
2002 was Chicago, which...
No.
Slow
that's-
down, son.
Why?
Because you're Russian.
Well, because this isn't a list show. I don't want
I want to know the list. So do our listeners.
I hated Chicago.
Really?
I love Chicago.
Chicago
Are
is a
you
good
freaking
movie.
kidding
I
me?
hate
Ian
He
doesn't
doesn't
like
like music.
musicals.
He doesn't like music. I
He doesn't
know.
like musicals.
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 He likes
But it wasn't
Jethro
really up.
Tull.
It wasn't.
I guarantee you, I like a lot more artists than you do.
But if you look at 2002, stop throwing things. What are you, a fucking child?
You should be glad it's just a piece of paper.
So Chicago won against Gangs of New York, which Gangs of New York was a good movie.
It was.
The
That was Leonardo
Hours,
DiCaprio.
Lord of the Rings, Two Towers,
No.
and The Pianist. Chicago should have won that year.
It should have. Yeah.
It should have won. The
Up
next
against
year,
those.
2003, you could make an argument that should not have won, which was Lord of the Rings, Return of the King.
That
That
one.
yeah, that
Yeah,
won
Best
best
Picture.
movie.
Yeah.
But I think consensus is it won because of the three
They've
movies
been there
together.
for like 5 movies.
Yeah,
already.
because it beat Lost in Translation, Master Commander, Mystic River, and Seabiscuit. I mean, so it didn't have
There's
really
no-
strong
yeah.
competition.
Mystic
Another
River was pretty good,
couple
though.
Leonardo
It wasn't-
DiCaprio movies.
Yeah, it was a good movie, but it wasn't like Oscar-winning movie.
I don't
No.
know.
The next year, 2004, which was $1 Million Baby, which I thought was
That was amazing.
What
really
was that up against?
Wait, no. Oh no, I'm thinking of something.
No, that was the boxing movie. I didn't
yeah,
like
with
it.
Hillary Swank.
Hilary Swank. Yeah,
Clint Eastwood.
it was up against The Aviator, Finding Neverland, Ray, which Ray was
Ooh.
Ray
great,
was really good.
Yeah, Ray.
and Sideways. I never
I don't
Sideways
know.
was-
Ray was
Ray
really
was
good.
Ray was really good.
That should have won.
2005 Crash won, which Crash was okay.
I don't remember that.
A lot of people were upset because Brokeback Mountain didn't win. A lot of people thought that year that Brokeback was going to win.
I'm sure it's a.
Have you seen it? Have either of you seen Brokeback
Oh yeah, yeah.
Mountain?
We both
maybe,
have.
yeah.
I have no problem with the content. My problem is why is it the only two gay cowboys end up in the same?
You can
tent
say that
together?
for just about for a bunch of other movies too. Why did this happen? Why did this one? How did these two people out of everybody end up together?
right. Well, it just seemed that.
And I'm sure that's just why everybody didn't want to vote.
Yeah.
For it. What
No,
were the
no.
other ones?
The other people didn't want it because of its content.
was gay, yeah.
Yeah. 2006 was The Departed, which is a fantastic. That's a
What
Leonardo
did they go up
Leonardo.
DiCaprio.
against? Yeah.
Poor Leo.
It was up against Babel, Letters from Iwo Jima, Little Miss Sunshine, and The Queen. Not really
I
strong
like the
competition.
Queen, but it's not. I don't think.
I love every Leo movie, so
2007
I
was No Country for Old Men.
don't know.
It's a
oh,
good-
that was
it's
the one
good.
with the guy from ER, George Clooney.
No.
No?
No, you're thinking of Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Which I love that movie, by the way.
I've never seen it.
so good.
It was up against Atonement, Juno, Michael Clayton, and There Will Be Blood.
Never
So
seen
no
any of
strong.
those.
And No Country for Old Men is really good.
The next year, 2008, Slumdog Millionaire won, which is
Was that the Justin Timberlake?
No,
movie?
Slumdog Millionaire was about the Indian boy who went on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or something.
yeah.
Some quiz show where he won $1 million.
Yeah.
But
I don't
It was
know
up
that.
against The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which I thought was a
That was-
fantastic movie.
I've never
It
seen
was
it.
horrifying.
I've never seen
it.
it.
It was Frost Nixon, Milk, and The Reader. So I had a really strong competition.
Yeah, Milk was good. Frost Nixon was good.
Oh.
I don't know.
Benjamin
And-
Button was.
You didn't like it?
It was
It was great, but it was scary.
Weird.
Like just
Yeah.
something you never want to happen.
Right. Okay.
So
right?
after
Because that's where the guy goes back in
back,
time.
yeah, he
he
ages in reverse.
In reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So after 2008 was when there was like a big. I think people were kind of tired of the crop of movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was after 2008 that the Academy said, "Okay, we're gonna widen the field," and they started nominating extra movies because I think before that it was like five movies that would get nominated,
Mm-hmm.
and they added an extra 4. They like doubled the field. So in 2009, The Hurt Locker won.
Don't know. I've never seen
That was the one about the guy who dismantled bombs in Iraq.
Yeah. Well, here, let me list the movies, and you tell me if The Hurt Locker should have won. It was up against Avatar,
Hate that.
The Blind Side,
That was good.
District 9,
Don't know.
The Education,
Don't know.
Inglorious Bastards, which is a fantastic
That was
fucking
good,
movie.
yeah.
Precious,
That was good. That was a big girl.
Yeah.
A Serious Man, Up, and Up in the Air.
Out of all those movies, the only two that I really enjoyed was Up and
I could have seen Up winning. I could have seen Inglourious Bastards
Inglourious
winning.
Bastards, yeah.
I could have seen Avatar winning and The Blind Side all winning.
Avatar, I would not. I mean,
I
don't get me
hated
wrong.
that.
I
over
like
The Hurt Locker.
Well, yeah, I didn't like The Hurt Locker.
That's what I'm saying.
I've never seen The Hurt
see-
Locker, but Avatar.
This might have been always the case, but it seems to me like modern day war movies just seem like there's propaganda to me. It just feels like propaganda. They probably always were, but for some reason they.
What do you mean modern day? Like what
Well,
was it? I don't
American
know the movie.
Sniper. It glorifies a guy who kills people from a distance.
Yeah, and it took all the really bad stuff that was in that book and didn't put it in the movie.
He was an assassin. That was his job. And
he was
I remember that because there was a guy, the real guy in life, right?
And he was Islamophobic also.
Right. And all it did was glorify him through the military.
So what was The Hurt Locker?
So the funny thing is, real quick before we move on Hurt Locker, the Nazis did the same thing during World War II. They made a movie. They would make movies about one individual and like glorify his past.
Right.
And use that movie as propaganda.
And like I said, we probably did the same thing with like the John Wayne movies.
Exactly. I'm sure we
like
did,
but to me, maybe because I'm alive and I see what's going on. The Hurt Locker was about the guys who would go and defuse the IEDs, like a
long time ago.
No, during Iraq.
Yeah.
And Afghanistan.
like our war.
Yes.
Yeah, because a lot of the soldiers we've lost have happened because these would appear to be civilians would just pull up in trucks next to the stops, and there'd be bombs in them, and they blow up.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So the Hurt Locker was about the bomb diffusers. When they find the bombs, they have to go and fix, turn them off before they explode.
I didn't realize that.
So
I've never seen it.
It was directed by Catherine Bigelow, and I think it's the first time a female-directed film won Best Picture.
Okay.
So I mean that's okay. And Catherine Bigelow is a fantastic director.
That shouldn't be in the
but that shouldn't factor in, right? Exactly.
Is this the first time like a Disney movie? Because you said Up. Is that the first time a Disney movie's been?
No.
I think it's the first. No, because I think Snow White was nominated.
I'm sure probably
so
was.
long time ago.
Yeah.
So it wasn't.
Oh, Toy Story's been nominated. A couple of Toy Stories have been nominated. Toy Story 3 was nominated in 2010.
Right.
I
hated 3.
So other.
I heard something. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what you're looking around at. So other Disney movies have been nominated.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not like it.
I want to say even Mary Poppins was nominated.
Maybe.
It should be.
Yeah. Did you see Mary Poppins Returns?
Yes, it was
good?
Amazing.
Was it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I need to see
Totally different.
A
than
lot of
what
people
you
were mad that she didn't at least get nominated also for Best Actress.
She
it.
should.
Emily Blunt?
Because
Yeah.
it's not a remake,
Right, it's a sequel.
and it's so good.
It's a sequel, right?
It was so good. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a sequel. Yeah.
Yeah, she's coming back to take care of the kids
Of the
that
kids.
grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I
No,
want
it
to
was
see
so
it.
good. And
wanna
there was
see it.
no, I don't know. It
No,
was just
So
good.
No blood and guts, no cussing.
No, I just mean it wasn't the same songs. It was good.
That was the other thing. Are the songs any good? Because it seems like Disney.
Yeah, some of
movies-
those songs were nominated
some-
for Grammys
some
and
music,
stuff.
Some of the Disney songs just don't seem to have the whether I like them or not. They just don't seem to have the same kind of
FYI,
melody
can I
kinda
get the
stuff?
Captain Marvel soundtrack? That
Oh,
was
yeah,
freaking
really- yeah,
amazing.
yeah, it was-
It's practically both of our playlists on
Freaking
Spotify.
amazing. I
All
was
those
like,
songs are in our playlist.
Well, if I had Spotify.
or in Apple Music.
and if I had a playlist.
Yeah. Hey, Mandy, guess what? You have the ability to put all those on a playlist.
yes.
'Cause
I know I do, but just
have Apple Music.
can you just buy me the CD and then I can put it in
Wait, what's a CD?
you know that thing, that flat disc that you put
I'm
in
gonna
your car?
I'm gonna surprise you. By next week, maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now, they will actually have the soundtrack on Apple Music and Spotify, just like
I
Guardians of the
know,
Galaxy.
Oh, they probably already do.
Then I
probably
gotta I have to figure out how to, because I can't connect. My car won't connect to me anymore. So then I've got this MPOW thing that doesn't work anymore.
Well, your car does connect, but you don't like it connecting for your phone calls. That's why you disconnected it.
no, I thought it wouldn't connect at all.
No, it does.
Oh.
Yep, sure will.
Well,
'Cause
then
we've got the same
still,
phone.
it's just too much time. I just want to put the CD in and listen to it. I don't want to have to like click a button and then click a button and search for the thing and then click.
Why
a
do I
button.
need 3 remotes?
Exactly. Like you got to scroll and then you got to find it, then you got to click it. Like just put the CD in and then you're done.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
Hey, and by the way, yeah, there's your soundtrack.
It's already on there.
It's already on there.
On my phone?
It's on Apple Music.
It's on Apple Music.
It's not on my phone.
It's there's a Captain Marvel soundtrack official playlist
It
from
was
from Disney
really,
Music
really
that put it
good.
on there.
You saw it. Yeah, you
I
did.
saw it. Yeah. And it's I was like, what did I say after the movie was over? It was like something about nostalgia or something. I mean, that was our era. Did you get the Stanley cameo?
Yeah.
Did you see what he was reading?
Yeah. The Mallrats?
Yeah. Kevin Smith went and saw it. He took a picture. He was crying when he saw it. He said he just started bawling his eyes out when he saw it.
Do you know if this is the last movie that he was in?
No, I looked it up. Apparently, they filmed a bunch of cameos for him.
Oh.
So he'll be in other movies.
Wow.
I don't know how many, but
I really like the Stanley tribute at the beginning of the movie. Did you see that, Mandy?
Yeah, you kept telling me, look, look,
Well, she was
look, Mandy,
texting on her
look,
phone.
look, and I'm like,
let's look at the screen.
Look at the screen. It's Stanley. I'm like, yes, I see it.
Yeah. Because Stanley and Kevin Smith were good friends. Stanley was supposed to be in the new Kevin Smith movie coming out, but he died, so he was in the script. And so yeah, he saw that. He's like, not only was it Stanley reading my script, but my script, I'm canon in Marvel movies now. He's like, I was bawling. He said he's bawling his eyes out like a little baby.
I want to hug him.
Who, Kevin Smith?
Yes, I love him.
He's a cool cat.
Just squeeze him.
So I guess
he's all skinny now.
No, then I don't want to squeeze him anymore.
Yeah, he almost died.
Yeah.
He had a massive heart attack a year ago. That's why he lost all the weight, because he had to lose. Because the doctor said, "You almost died." He had a widowmaker heart attack. He shouldn't even be alive.
Oh, so he lost weight because he was fat.
He lost weight because he was fat and almost died.
Oh, I thought you meant like, all right,
like he was sick. No.
Well, no, that he was skinny and had a heart attack.
No.
Like,
he was fat and had a heart attack. Now he's skinny, so he doesn't have another one. Because he almost died.
That's skinny. I just saw him on that aquarium show.
He's lost weight.
I think he's actually skinnier than he was when he was young.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, that wasn't young. It was just a few years ago.
Oh no, he was fat a few years ago.
Yeah.
No, tanked.
Yeah. When was that recorded though, Mandy? That might have been recorded before he had his heart attack and lost all the weight.
No, because maybe
he just had the heart attack about a year and a month ago.
Oh, okay, yeah. Then this was probably
before then.
Sorry, I took you way off track.
No, that's okay.
It happens to us all the time.
So the next year.
Well, no, I mean it's.
No, I want to finish.
We're kind of running long. We've covered them all since the 1990.
No, you haven't finished. It was 2007, 2008.
We did all that.
9.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, he did that at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
I don't remember what they were either, so don't feel bad. But he did do them at the beginning of the conversation.
Well, because
he said, I'm going to go back 10 years, and that's what he did.
Well, yeah, because remember we talked about 2008 was Slumdog Millionaire, 2009 was The Hurt Locker.
Slumdog Millionaire. Wasn't that the Justin Timberlake movie?
No, that's what you just said when I said that the first time.
Justin Timberlake movie that was nominated was Trouble with the Curve.
No, that didn't get nominated.
Yeah, it was. You mentioned it.
What was his movie that he did with
Who?
I don't know.
You're thinking of Alpha Dog?
No.
Maybe.
He was an Alpha Dog.
Yep, I think that might be it.
So yeah, I mean, would it help if they cut down the length of the movie? I mean, of the show?
No,
because it runs 3+ hours now.
And there's already several categories that people are like, "Well, I really would have wanted to see that."
Well, all the categories are shown on TV, unlike the Grammys. The Grammys shows more than half of theirs off air.
Mm.
When Greta Van Fleet won their Grammy this year,
it wasn't on.
It wasn't even on TV.
It was rock.
Yeah,
there's a huge prejudice against rock music nowadays.
And maybe they could be a little smarter about who they choose to host the show.
I was just this year did they host? Did somebody host this year?
No, they didn't.
I was going to say they didn't
because
have one.
They picked Kevin Hart to host, and then like all these like racist and homophobic tweets and stuff they did in his past.
Long time ago.
They wanted him to apologize for because we live in such a sensitive ass society. Mm-hmm. So he kind of backed out, but I don't know.
What was I watching?
It went well.
But look at Seth MacFarlane hosted it 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah,
and he did the "We Saw Your Boobs" song during the show. I mean, I don't know if you could do that today, but
that was just a few years ago.
That was 6 years ago.
I was watching something and they were talking about that. It might have even been
what? That we saw your boobs?
No. The fact that someone can say something 10, 15 years ago and lose a job today.
Yeah.
Like James Gunn.
Yeah.
Who lost Guardians of the Galaxy 3, even though he's made Marvel and Disney a shit ton of money.
Hundreds of millions
because
of dollars.
He took a project that theoretically shouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
And made it fucking work.
Yeah.
And they fired him because of something he tweeted 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. Which is stupid.
It's really stupid. I mean, I get it from a business perspective. You don't want to risk that tarnishing your brand, but it was 10 fucking years ago. Yeah. No one is the same person 10 years later. No one.
And that's what kind of gets me is so they wanted Kevin Hart to come out and apologize for what he said, and he really didn't.
Right.
I mean, he did. He eventually did like kind of give like a half-ass apology, but I wouldn't have. I'd been like, look, I'm sorry I said that, but I mean, it just.
And
I'm
I
not the
wouldn't
same
even said I
person.
was sorry. I would have said, look, yeah, I said
I
that,
would've
but
said-
I'm not the same person.
I
now
probably
that
would have
was
said,
then.
I'm sorry you got offended by it. but-
Right, yeah. Because it was Bill Maher they were talking about that. Because it's the same, because he was talking about Democrats, how they say something or do something, and then Democrats themselves force those people, because they were talking about that Muslim senator or congresswoman.
Yeah, the cursed word.
No, she well, no.
Oh,
this is the
no.
one-
She made,
she made some
anti-Semitic.
Not really. She
No,
was going after
they
the
were.
politics of it. We know, because we know that Muslims are anti-Semitic. Their book tells them to be anti-Semitic. The Quran specifically says Jews should be killed.
Yes.
So they're by nature she's anti-Semitic, but her comments were more about the political side of it.
But it came off as
It
very
came off as anti-Semitic. Of
Yeah.
course, it's going to. But it's not Republicans who are calling for her to drop out or to do anything or
Well,
to
yeah,
apologize.
they are.
Not much. The
No,
Democrats
they
are going after her.
There's been a big push from the right for her to
Republicans have said anti-Semitic things in the past, and no one batted
I
a
know,
fucking
I know.
eye. That's
I don't want to get too. I don't want to get
So
deep
who
into
were
politics.
some of your
but-
like favorite hosts for these shows? Like my favorite host,
Billy Crystal.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Justin Timberlake, when he hosted the ESPYs, like
Oh, I thought you were
yeah.
talking about the Oscars.
no
Award shows
but
in general?
just in general,
Justin
like
Timberlake-
who is somebody
Yeah,
like
when
you
he
could
did
just
when he did the
watch
ESPYs,
every-
that was awesome.
freaking awesome.
Nothing will beat the Oscars '92
Mm-hmm.
when Silence of the Lambs won for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And the beginning of the show, Billy Crystal's wheeled out with the Hannibal Lecter mask and a straight
Yeah.
jacket. I thought that was just, I cracked up, and I hadn't even seen Silence of the Lambs yet by that point.
Really?
Yeah, because I didn't see it. I saw it maybe right after it won. In fact, I know it was because it didn't even come out on VHS until after it won. It was still fresh in the theaters. And I just remember cracking up because I was like 12 or 13 at the time. So, yeah, that Billy Crystal for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nick.
I agree. Billy Crystal probably.
Yeah.
As far as Oscars,
He's
go.
really good.
He's funny. I mean,
But overall, you still think he's
like for all awards.
Justin Timberlake when he did the ESPYs, that was awesome.
See, I wouldn't watch the ESPYs. It wouldn't be something.
It was worth watching just for him.
Just for him.
Yeah.
And I mean, I heard
Absolutely.
Seth MacFarlane was funny as hell when he did
was.
the Oscars.
He was.
Ricky Gervais when he did the Golden Globes, the first one.
Yeah.
Because he was really funny. He pushed a lot of boundaries, pissed off a lot of people. That was pretty good too.
Oh no, I never watched the Golden Globes.
Yeah, they're more
What are they?
irrelevant than
I don't
all of
remember
them.
what they
Golden Globes are just like
the daytime show?
Pre-Oscars.
Golden Globes are
The
instead
Oscars,
of being
but Oscar light.
being voted for by the Academy, the Golden Globes I think is voted on by the press. And
Yeah.
it's really
Okay.
ultimately
So
just
is it still TV and movie or just
It's-
movie?
it's
or?
movies.
it's movies and
It's
TV.
movies.
You can know TV
I
shows
thought
win
Golden
Golden
Globes were just a TV.
The Emmys
No,
are the TV.
Emmys.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then there's the daytime Emmys.
Then there's the daytime Emmys. The Golden Globes are like an Oscar awards for both, so you can be in any case.
So it could be like
Yeah.
Grey's Anatomy. or it
Grey's
could
Anatomy
be-
has one Golden Globes.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's irrelevant to me because it's not peer-to-peer judging. It's journalists, and journalists can be bought with an interview.
Yeah.
You know, if Robert Downey Jr. wants to win a Golden Globe, he just does 3 interviews and he's good because
Gotcha.
he's hard to get an interview with. It's not to me. It's even less relevant.
I didn't know that.
It's even less. Although the Golden Globes, when I can't remember her name, she won for Chicago Hope back in like 98, 99. And when they called her name, she was in the bathroom.
Oh, I think I remember that.
And Robin Williams ran up on stage and just started doing Robin Williams
I
stuff.
don't remember that.
And it was the funniest fucking thing ever. But any time Robin Williams was just let go to do whatever he wanted, he was the funniest thing ever.
Well, that's what made. What was the last TV series he did? Where there were the advertisers when he worked in advertising.
Yeah, that one didn't last long. It was with
No, but it was fucking hilarious.
was it?
Oh yeah,
of
it was-
courst.
TV show?
Yeah, I remember we used to
It
watch
was the last thing he did before he killed himself.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It got
In fact, I don't remember if it got canceled.
It
I know
got
what you're
canceled
talking about.
before he
Yeah.
killed
I just
himself.
remember going up an elevator or something.
Yeah,
Yep, he would come out of the elevator.
I don't remember the name of the show, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, it would. Like I said, it would be because he wouldn't
He
do anything that
was.
wasn't funny.
Yeah.
No,
You
which
know?
is so sad because it was just covering up his pain. But
Oh yeah.
that was a huge loss to the entertainment world.
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Because as far as just like full-blooded entertainers,
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of anyone who's better than him because he could do it all. He could do drama, and he can make the most cynical person in the world laugh.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there isn't. I can't imagine there's anyone on this planet who couldn't sit and watch Robin Williams doing that Emmys or that Golden Globes thing and not fucking crack up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
everything.
Yeah.
Jumanji, Mrs. Doubtfire.
He's good. He did a lot of good
Good Will
stuff.
Hunting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's brilliant.
That was the only thing he won an Oscar for.
He should have gotten an Oscar every year just for being Robin Williams,
Right.
in my opinion.
I don't know. Is there anything else you guys wanted to add? I mean,
no. I mean, as far as like, are they relevant? Probably not. They're probably going to get less relevant. Honestly, people don't care anymore. I don't think
people are just.
maybe
I
that's
don't
what it
think they
is.
don't care. I think they're just too busy.
Maybe-
we're on our
maybe that's what
phones.
it is.
We're on doing something else. We can tape it. We'll watch it later.
you
we
can
never
just go
watch
on Facebook.
it later.
You can even check Facebook periodically
Exactly.
while
You
you're
just
watching
find
something
your
else and they're
answers.
announcing it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're not relevant. I think it's just
societally,
we
relevant.
don't take the time anymore.
Okay, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
We don't sit and as a family and
Oh yeah,
watch.
I mean that's true of anything. I mean,
Yeah.
nobody sits down as a family and
Right.
watches TV anymore.
But I think
No.
that's the biggest thing because before it was like when there was a big news thing or a big Oscars or the big whatever.
Right. Oh yeah,
You always sat and watched
when
it.
we were kids, I don't think my parents cared about any of that stuff, but it was
Mm-hmm.
we always watched it.
Yeah, you always sat down
We
and
always sat and watched it
together.
because that was what was on, the big thing that was on.
Now I'm like, all right, kids, time for bed. Mommy
Yeah.
and Daddy are gonna watch something. Maybe I don't know.
for about 10 minutes before you fall asleep.
Pretty
Right.
much. Yeah.
Yep. And that's more you because he works nights.
Right.
That and when I'm
Or
not working, it
afterwards.
seems like I'm down here in my office doing homework and
Right.
working on the show.
It's
And
just a hurried society.
Yeah.
That's all we
All
do.
right.
Hey, I still take time to sit and watch movies with my family.
well, it's just you,
Exactly.
dumbass.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, any questions or comments, you can email us at contact@lifeandjournalpodcast.com. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter and all that jazz. And check out our website, lifeandjournalpodcast.com.
Do it or
Peace.
die.
Do it or die.
Peace.
It's not that point yet, Mandy.
Oh, I thought we were done.
No, we always throw in like weird like whatevers.
Thanks for coming on the show with us again, Mandy.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're welcome.
I don't even know why you should just be on every show. Period.
Maybe
Maybe.
if I can.
You are host number 3.
Mandy will be on the show if we're not talking about like politics or something like that.
Right. Yeah.
Because I have.
Even though we should do an education episode and have Mandy
Right.
on.
How? What? Just real quick, because this will answer the question of whether or not you should be on there. What do you think of Betsy DeVos? All right. See, you win. You can be on the show when we discuss politics.
But I know nothing more, so
That's all right.
don't have me on the show.
All right. Well, until next time,
Talk to y'all later.
peace.
Peace out.
You can say it too, Mandy.
Peace.
Say peace out. That was
Oh,
different.
peace out. Peace.
There you
Mother.
go.
Play my role, let me tell you about it. This shit right here, man, I'm about it. Only real niggas reside around me. Yo, old lady, drop a guard around me. Dip like I know you can, bitch. Show me the ropes like we in the ring. Got you some cobras, you wanna hang. Shoulder to shoulder, them niggas basic. You know I won't lie. You know that I ain't for that fuck shit. You niggas alright, but I'm way better and she love it. Know that y'all sick as fuck. Here go this tissue, bruh. We taking the dub. Hoping you get you some. This hit like a pick me up. She taking my drugs. Know they see the sign. That's some downside. Know they sick as fuck. Know they sick as fuck. Tell them get well soon. Tell them get well soon. Know you sick as fuck. Get well soon.
Oh shit, watch out, you the god, Billy. Oh shit, right now, and I'm smiling in your face, bitch. With a gold smile, you should probably make placement to your eye. Niggas sick as fuck, standing with niggas who down for that party, who down for some bitches who showing their bodies. Swear to God, nigga.